They said Roman Reigns was finished. They said the tribal chief was dethroned, broken, and would never recover from losing his precious Ulafala. But Friday night on SmackDown, Roman Reigns didn't just return, he brought the most dangerous weapon WWE has ever seen, and if you think you know what's coming next, you're dead wrong. While Solo Sikoa was busy playing pretend tribal chief, thinking he had dismantled the Bloodline forever, Roman was orchestrating the most devastating comeback in wrestling history. And the nuclear bomb he dropped on the WWE Universe? Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf himself, standing right beside the true tribal chief, ready to tear through anyone who dares challenge their dominance. For months, we watched Solo Sikoa parade around as the so-called tribal chief, thinking he had outsmarted Roman Reigns by recruiting Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa to his bastardized version of the Bloodline. The WWE Universe bought into it. The commentary team bought into it. Even Triple H seemed to acknowledge Solo's claim to power. But here's what nobody understood: Roman Reigns doesn't just play chess, he plays 4D chess while everyone else is playing checkers. While Solo was collecting mid-tier wrestlers and calling them his enforcers, Roman was hunting the most feared competitor in all of professional wrestling. Jacob Fatu isn't just another Samoan wrestler looking for a payday. This man is unhinged. He's the type of competitor who doesn't just beat his opponents, he destroys them. He breaks bones, ends careers, and does it all with a smile that would make the Joker nervous. And now he's Roman's personal attack dog. Picture this scene: Solo Sikoa standing in the middle of the ring, holding the Ulafala like he actually earned it, surrounded by his wannabe Bloodline members, talking about how he's the real tribal chief. The WWE Universe was eating it up, buying into this narrative that maybe, just maybe, Solo had actually dethroned the head of the table permanently. Then the music hits. Not just any music, Roman's music. But something was different. The energy in that arena shifted from excitement to absolute terror, because walking beside Roman Reigns, matching him step for step, was Jacob Fatu in all his menacing glory. The look on Solo's face? Priceless. All that fake confidence melted away faster than ice cream in hell. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, these supposed enforcers, were backing up like they'd seen a ghost. Because they knew, everyone knew, that Jacob Fatu doesn't just wrestle matches, he wages wars. Let me break down exactly why this partnership is going to dominate WWE for the next decade. Roman Reigns brings the tactical brilliance, the political savvy, and the championship credibility that made him the longest reigning Universal Champion in modern history. He's the master manipulator who can turn any situation to his advantage. But Jacob Fatu? He brings something Romans never had before: pure, uncontrolled violence. This is a man who's been destroying competitors across multiple promotions, leaving a trail of broken bodies wherever he goes. He doesn't care about storylines or politics, he cares about inflicting pain. Together, they're not just the new Bloodline, they're the most dangerous combination WWE has ever assembled. Roman provides the brain, Jacob provides the brawn, and together they're going to systematically destroy every single person who dared to challenge Roman's authority while he was away. Solo Sikoa thought he was safe with his numbers advantage? Wrong. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa combined couldn't handle Jacob Fatu on his worst day. This man has been training his entire life to be a weapon, and now Roman Reigns has pointed that weapon directly at everyone who betrayed the true Bloodline. But it's not just Solo's fake Bloodline that should be terrified. Cody Rhodes better start looking over his shoulder, because Roman's coming for that undisputed championship, and this time he's bringing backup that makes Brock Lesnar look like a choir boy. Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, every single top star on SmackDown and Raw should be losing sleep right now, because Roman and Jacob aren't just coming for championships, they're coming for revenge. And Jacob Fatu's version of revenge involves hospitalization. While everyone was focused on Solo's pathetic attempt to recreate the Bloodline with discount versions of great wrestlers, Roman was executing the most brilliant long-term strategy in wrestling history. He let Solo dig his own grave, let him get comfortable in his delusions of grandeur, and then struck with the precision of a master tactician. Think about the timing. Solo had just finished declaring himself the permanent tribal chief, the WWE Universe was starting to accept his leadership, and merchandise was being printed with his face on it. That's when Roman chose to return, not a moment sooner, because he wanted Solo to feel the full weight of his failure. And choosing Jacob Fatu as his enforcer? Genius. Roman didn't just want to beat Solo, he wanted to completely humiliate him by showing what a real enforcer looks like. Jacob makes Tama Tonga look like a rookie, and Tonga Loa might as well retire, because he's about to be shown what actual intimidation feels like. Mark my words, this isn't just a reunion, this is the beginning of the most dominant era WWE has ever witnessed. Roman Reigns learned from his time away. He saw what happened when he tried to carry the bloodline with family members who weren't ready for the responsibility. So he went out and found the most savage competitor available. Jacob Fatu doesn't need training, doesn't need guidance, and definitely doesn't need motivation. He wakes up every morning ready to end careers. Combined with Roman's championship experience and political maneuvering, they're going to steamroll through the entire WWE roster like it's made of paper. War Games? They'll demolish it. Royal Rumble? They'll dominate it. WrestleMania? They'll steal the show and probably send multiple competitors to the hospital in the process. This isn't just about winning championships anymore, this is about establishing a dynasty that will be remembered for generations. But the most devastating part of their return wasn't the surprise appearance or even the intimidation factor, it was the message they sent without saying a single word. Roman didn't need a 20-minute promo to re-establish his dominance. He didn't need to explain his actions or justify his choices. He simply showed up with the most feared wrestler in the business and let their presence do the talking. That's the mark of a true champion, letting your actions speak louder than any words ever could. Solo can talk all he wants about being the tribal chief, but when Roman shows up with Jacob Fatu, the conversation is over. The debate is settled. The real head of the table has returned, and he brought reinforcements that could level a small country. This alliance represents everything WWE fans love and fear about professional wrestling. We love the unpredictability, the shock value, and the absolute chaos that Jacob Fatu brings to every match he's in. But we should be terrified because our favorite wrestlers are about to get demolished by a force of nature that shows no mercy. Roman and Jacob together aren't just going to win matches, they're going to end careers. They're going to force retirements. They're going to create moments so violent and so devastating that they'll be talked about for decades. And the scariest part? They're both young enough to dominate for the next 10 years. So when people ask me what the most shocking moment in recent WWE history was, I don't hesitate for a second, it was Roman Reigns walking down that ramp with Jacob Fatu, silently declaring war on everyone who dared to question his authority. It was the moment the wrestling world realized that the true tribal chief never left, he was just gathering the most dangerous army ever assembled. Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and everyone else who thought they could fill Roman's shoes are about to learn the hardest lesson of their careers: you don't replace a king, you just keep his throne warm until he decides to take it back. And when Roman Reigns decides to reclaim what's his, he doesn't come alone anymore, he brings the Samoan werewolf. The bloodline isn't broken, it's evolved into something more terrifying than anyone ever imagined. And if you're not absolutely terrified of what Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu are going to do to the WWE Universe, then you haven't been paying attention. The real tribal combat is just beginning, and there's going to be blood. Make sure to stay tuned because this is far from over. Hit the like button, subscribe for more updates, then ring the notification bell so that you would be the first to get notified when we drop a new video.